You all right?
So this is going to be part 2 of Josh, isn't it?
Part 2 of Josh. It's a funny way to say it.
You get a haircut?
No, I'm hoping I'm about to, though. Well, what? Yeah, part 2 of Josh's thing. It's about... we chat about Northampton a lot, so that's going to be interesting for everyone.
Yeah, I feel like that's a cool thing, though, to give a shout out to, like, talk a little bit about where we're from. We haven't really done that yet, have we? And I feel like Josh is in the know of everything that's kind of going on, especially with like the NN social and stuff like that. What do we want to say?
I don't know. What have you been doing?
Working hard.
We had a big meeting about Front on Thursday, and we planned out all the development and stuff for the next sort of phase and getting it to like the beta testing point. And the plan for the beta is for it to be what the final version will be. So once it's tested, it might be not long before it's been launched, before it's ready to launch, I'd say. So actually,
it might be worth giving a shout out just to everyone who actually emailed us, because we had way more than we realised we'd get, didn't we? In terms of people getting back to us and saying they would like to be part of the beta stage, which is awesome. But at the time when we sent that email out, we were kind of hoping it would be a little bit closer than it was, I guess.
What, the beta test? You might have been hoping that.
Yeah, well, I was thinking a couple of weeks, but maybe a little bit longer.
Well, I don't think that was ever going to happen. But I think I do actually need to reply to everyone. You've just reminded me. I need to reply to everyone who sent that email. We put out a video on, well, you did it, didn't you, on Sunday? Or we did it. You did it. Yeah, actually, you did it all. To give you credit. You made the video, you filmed it, you took the photographs, you edited it, and you even posted it first time.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
but I say we on everything just in case people don't like it, and I can blame you.
Yeah, I do. I try and say we, but I'm like,
so effectively, it was our first little photo walk that we put out. I was basically in Birmingham for the day. I had to go there to run some errands, effectively, do some clothes shopping. But yeah, I was there for the day, so I thought I'd shoot a roll of film while I was there. But when I got there pretty early. It was miserable weather, but I thought I'm still going to shoot one roll, and I used my Olympus RC 35mm, pretty much a point and shoot camera, a bit like the Olympus Trip, and I used some Kentmere 400, which I bought from Analog Wonderland.
Is it the roll of film I developed for you then, isn't it?
Oh, was that the one that you did?
Yeah, because I did 2 rolls of Kentmere at the same time. One was mine, one was yours. So it must have been that.
There we go. So if you don't like the photos, it's Luke's fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, check it out. It's our first little video. We've had good feedback. We've had positive feedback from it so far, and a fair few messages saying we want to see more. Obviously, we are going to kind of develop in that kind of area. We are going to just keep throwing videos out there. So yeah, there'll be the podcast and there'll be the photo walk videos, effectively.
Or whatever. Whatever else. We might have got a few other ideas for stuff.
People seem to like it.
Whatever we want.
Yeah, exactly.
Our fucking YouTube channel. Do what we like.
And if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. And what's the other one? What else did everyone say?
Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, and there's something else. Notification. What is it? The little notification bell. I hope I'm pointing that out. I will be at some point. Hit that. That'll help us out massively. Yeah, that's exciting. We've got some. In fact, I won't mention it in this one, but we have got some exciting news that we'll probably put at the start of our next kind of photo walk video, just about where we're getting the cameras from, that kind of thing. So stay tuned for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe give it its own little shout out. We don't want to take the stardom away from Josh on this episode, do we?
So that's that video. So I'll stick a link in the thingy, but keep an eye out for them. And whatever. Let us know what you think.
And enjoy part 2. Drum roll, please.
I'm going to change the subject a little bit, but I wanted to get your guys' opinion on the lift tower and how it's appearing in lots of different types of art at the moment. And I know it's become a bit ubiquitous at the moment, but well, tell me what you think before I give you my opinion. Because I think it represents, for a lot of people, it represents Northampton, or it is an identifier, and people are using it.
Do you know what I mean? It represents home. No matter where I am, I think I posted a photo about this years and years ago, and I took a photo of the lift tower, whatever it was. I'm talking like years and years ago, and it just, no matter where I am, that's the first thing you see from wherever you've been. You know you're nearly home. Do you know what I mean? I think it represents a community. You know, which it should do. You know, regardless if you like that community or not, or you know, there's different parts of that community. It represents a community, doesn't it?
It's a thing that I like now, but when I was little, like I was in the Cubs or whatever, and we went up it, and it was great. And then when I was like a teenager, it was just this thing there sticking out into the skyline of this town that I thought was kind of shit because it was changing and places were closing down and it was kind of on a bit of a decline, I think. And then now I'm like, no, it's cool. It's good. It's very unique to us. And when we talked about originally doing something with photography, we were talking about like a sort of, I don't know, what were we talking about? A collective of some description to like do photo walks or just meet up or whatever it might be. It was originally like, yeah, it will be all focused around Northampton and we'll put NN, you know, like in the name somehow or whatever it might be. And then when we moved on to doing what we're doing, it was like, we can't do that because it's bigger than it's supposed to be this kind of worldwide thing, like anybody in the world can use it. So it doesn't make sense to do it. But I think like why not, like everywhere else in the world latches onto just some random building because it looks unique or something. So I wish the bus station was still there. I know it was full of like poison or whatever it was, but like that Blood Visions t-shirt or their EP with that on the cover, it's awesome. And it was this kind of mad monolith of just like, I don't know. It was, but I wish I could go and photograph it now. It would have looked amazing.
I'll tell you a fun fact about the bus station blowing up, because I used to live in between like the Bradlaugh and the Lamplighter.
Yeah.
So, like, on the corner, like next, like on the end of the road, and I was on the radius, like my flat, because I lived on like the top floor of the flat, and out my balcony was outside my flat was the border where everyone had to stand when it got blown up. So I literally had the best view of it blowing up, which was pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, it's nostalgic, isn't it?
Yeah, that's more of a fact about you than a fact about the bus station.
Yeah, that was a pretty boring fact. There was nothing to do with the bus station there. It was more about my pleasure of seeing it blow up. But yeah, what about you, Josh? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, similarly to you, Luke, I think you grow up sort of probably like as a kid enjoying where you are, or not knowing anything different, so it's fine. And then when in your teenage years, everything's shit. You want to do something new and interesting, and not the same thing in the same places. And you want to go to London or wherever, or where you think all the action is. But it's not until sort of mid to late 20s where I really started to appreciate Northampton. And well, I mean, I say I appreciate Northampton. It's the people and the community and that sort of stuff. And I think like you were saying, Luke, it's unique, so it's an identifier for Northampton. And I think not many places have sort of universally recognised things that represent them. You know, everywhere's got big churches or whatever, or sports stadiums or whatever, but the lift tower is unique. And although it's not a practical building or whatever, it has no use or no function other than abseiling at the moment. I think it it stands for Northampton. Yeah, and I feel like it could have been demolished a long time ago, I imagine.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
glad.
surprised it's still there. But it is this awesome, like when I'm driving, if I'm driving home and the sun is setting, it always, the point where I go past it, it lights it up so nicely. And like there's been times I've been stuck in traffic, like trying to take photos. Like I probably shouldn't be doing that, but like getting my camera out and just like taking photos out the window of it, because it just looks, yeah, it is quite a mad thing when you see it, but you're just so used to it being there all the time.
Yeah, I think one of my favourite pictures that I took was of the lift tower. I was in my car, stuck in traffic, and it was raining, and there's rain on the windscreen, and it's just looking at the lift tower from sort of from town towards the lift tower with the Saints ground in front. But it's like it's a bit blurred because there's large water drops on the screen and stuff, and it's dark, and I just really liked it, and the sun sort of backlit it, and it just happened to work out really nicely. But that's probably a similar thing, like it was a sort of sunset sort of time. But I actually used that on with some of the Cult of NN t-shirts, so that I included a print. So on one side it had the logo, and then the other side it had a photo, and that I used that photo for that thing, just like a free thing that went out with t-shirts.
Yeah.
We actually wanted to talk to you about that. That was going to be one of our kind of topics, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Talk about Cult of NN, and then also, well, let's talk about Cult of NN, then we'll get on to the NN social, so to speak.
Okay.
But yeah, so what is Cult of NN? What is it? How did it come around?
I mean, essentially, it's just like a line of t-shirts of merch and stuff. But I wanted to do some sort of t-shirt or something that was simple. Anyone can make a t-shirt. It's not a difficult thing to do. But I thought that's a great thing that anyone can do it. But that also means that you get a lot of crap made, some of which I've made in the past. But I thought, right, now I've got some time to focus on a project, and I thought I wanted to collaborate with other people, because I don't necessarily have all the skills to make it work, and there's shitloads of people in Northampton that are really good at lots of different things. So I wanted to make I suppose it's like a brand, but something that was to sell t-shirts that were really high quality, or as high quality as I could get. That the designs are unique and specific to Northampton and represent what I think Northampton is to me. And if I can include local artists or local graphic designers, local printers or whatever, then that's great. So that's really all it was. It's just a sort of trying to do it as simply but as high quality as I could do it. So yeah, in one hand it is just some t-shirts, but I think to me it represents the community. It's like I'm trying to do something good that I would wear. I don't want to I'm not just trying to do a £10 Gildan t-shirt and sell it for 20 quid and make some money and just on to the next one. I want these things to be amazing. I think people like Cal at Pomelo do great work. His t-shirts are incredible. So I'm sort of always aiming to do stuff as good a quality as he does. But yeah, that's a long, rambly answer for you.
That's cool. Anything new that you're working on with that?
Sorry?
Is there anything new that you're working on with that at the moment in terms of another release?
Well, we just had one this month that it was only orders closed on about the 7th of March, so they should be arriving with people any day now. So there'll be the next one, edition 3 will be coming maybe next month. It's just a case of me getting my shit together and working with other artists. So the most recent one that went on sale and stopped this month, that people should have any day, was with local artist Bill Pollard, who goes by the name Goodwill Painting.
So
yeah, he's done some really awesome stuff and is a generally nice bloke. But he commented on a friend of mine's painting that had a lift tower in it, and he said, "Oh, not another lift tower." So the latest T-shirt has got "Not Another Lift Tower" down both sleeves, because the Cult of NN logo has got a lift tower in it. So I thought that would be a little bit funny, but also cool. And the way that Bill's designed the lettering and stuff looks really, really nice. So yeah, I was able to like make a T-shirt that I would wear, that I want, and work with an artist who I really respect. And people seem to like it, and we sold a bunch, and yeah, it's been really cool.
Well, do you want to give a brief explanation of what the NN Social is? Because I love watching it.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. It was I co-host a weekly YouTube show called the NN Social with Nick Gray and Andy Convey. It was their idea at start. It's about a year ago, actually, this week or next week. It was their idea to recreate sort of socialising, going to the pub, listening to music. And they asked me if I wanted to get involved, and I jumped at the chance, really. So yeah, we just talked to local sort of NN, not exclusively, but NN based people, basically people that we know. That's probably the only reason they're NN based. It's because it's people in our sort of friendship circle or extended friendship circle. But business owners, artists, all sorts of people. And we normally have a music performance or two during the show. But yeah, I mean, it's been, I don't know, 30 odd episodes now, and it's been really, really good to do. Yeah, and some people watch it, and that's great. So yeah. I mean, we're spoilt for choice with like creative people in Northampton, whether they're independent business owners or musicians or artists or, you know, whatever they are. We never struggle for guests. Our only problem is that we don't know enough of the people. So, you know, we've basically had our friends on, or our friends of friends on, and there's so many other sort of genres and stuff that we haven't touched just because we don't know those people. But you know, maybe we should pull our finger out and introduce them ourselves to them. But hopefully we'll keep doing it and we can get to everybody or most people.
Should we start with albums? Top 3 albums or bands? Or no, it's albums, isn't it?
Albums.
Yeah, albums. Well, I mean, it's an impossible question. You know, I'm sure you guys would agree. But I picked 3 that were fresh in my memory, or ones that I go back to regularly. So the first one would be Marmoset's Weird and Wonderful.
Okay, yeah. I don't know that album, but I know that band, and I've heard like a couple of songs. So
which album is that? The one with is like black and yellow front cover?
I think so. Hold on. Yeah, it's the black and white. Hey, it's a black and white picture. Black and white with Marmoset's in yellow on it.
But
I mean,
the album came out.
Yeah, it came out in 2014, but I only listened to it last year for the first time. And I fucking love it. It's really, really good. I listen to it over and over again. Yeah, I think it's the right mix of sort of aggression with melody. And it's quite it feels quite sort of indie, sort of garage band, not the program. I mean, like a band that's actually in a garage. But still tight and sounds like sonically good. But yeah, really loved that album. But like most things, I was really late to the party with those guys. But yeah, really like
I haven't heard that album in ages, probably since, you know, the first year it kind of came out. But I remember thinking it was a bit of a banger when it came out.
Yeah. Second one would be Ruben, Race Car Backwards.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Really, really love Ruben. And never got to see them. Although I did see Jamie Lenman at Mark's thing in Corby that was at the Rockingham Speedway. But yeah, I saw Jamie Lenman there, and he played a few Ruben tracks. So that's the closest I've got to seeing Ruben before. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Also discovered Palm Reader at that festival, who I'd never really listened to before, and they're great as well.
Never heard. No, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, I thoroughly recommend them.
Yeah. Well, I saw Ruben once at. I think I'm remembering this right. I think Kapowski supported them at the Water Rats for like a Christmas show or something. I'm sure I'm remembering that. Well, I'm not sure I'm remembering that correctly. That's why I'm doubting myself. But I remember him practicing his vocal warm-ups at the, I'll say, backstage in the corridor next to the stage before they went on, and it was brutal. But yeah, it was really good. That was the only time I ever saw them. But yeah, awesome. Yeah, and I haven't listened to that album for 15 plus years probably.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, really good album. Jamie Edmonds great. I think I like most of the stuff he does. Yeah, but that came out in 2004, which is ages ago. So
yeah. Sadly,
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And my last one is Aphex Twin Drugs album, 2001. That is. That was at a time when I was studying music, or I started listening to that at a time when I was studying music technology at college, and it just like blew my mind that this kind of noise can be made on a computer or with equipment and stuff. And because my like journey into music was more on the sort of maybe production or technical side. Like I played instruments and stuff growing up, saxophone and drums and stuff, but I never really found the one that was for me. So then I started to get into music production and DJing and stuff and turntablism. But it felt electronic music, particularly stuff like Aphex Twin, really felt like something that was potentially achievable for me. I mean, I'm not saying that I can fucking make Aphex Twin music, but it was like, oh shit, you don't have to like be able to play a guitar or whatever, or start a band. You can do some stuff on your own that's really mind-bending and amazing. And so that was like his music and all sort of like Venetian snares, square pusher, all of those sorts of things, like really
it opened up a lot of doors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. But that album's really good.
It's amazing, isn't it? That's kind of I think that's the album where he kind of didn't use computers as much, and he found loads of synths that were really difficult to program and worked out how to program them essentially. But that was so that album, what I knew of Aphex Twin was the kind of Nosebleed, like the stuff you'd see on MTV, and it was supposed to be weird and scary and really, really loud. And then when that album came out, it's like it's so gentle in parts of it. I will be honest, at the time I was like, I don't, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. And then he disappeared for about 20 years and didn't do anything. Well, 20 years, maybe not, about 10 years maybe. Didn't do anything. And since, it was really since in the last few years or so, I saw him live, but I think it was 2014. So that's 7 years ago, isn't it? So yeah, man, okay. So anyway, a while ago, I went back and listened to that album. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, it's amazing, isn't it? Wasn't I an absolute idiot at 20 or however old I was when that album came out? It was, it's incredible. It's just amazing. And I remember that it now goes for like hundreds and hundreds of pounds on Discogs. Seeing a copy of it in Spun Out for like 20 quid on like 3 vinyl things, and it comes in this weird shaped case.
I've got that. Yeah, is that worth some money then?
Yeah.
If it's in like really good condition, I've seen it go for loads. So yeah, and I was going to buy it, but then I listened to like my mate's CD of it and was like, oh, I don't know. But yeah, that was a stupid thing to do. What's the other one? Movies. Then again, it's too hard to answer. But
you know what? It is too hard to answer, and I've only got 1 movie and 2 TV shows. I've bent the rules a bit.
We'll allow that. We'll allow it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Well, my favourite film, and it's been my favourite film for as long as I can remember, is Home Alone, because
The original.
Yeah. Home Alone 1.
Home Alone 4.
Yeah, fucking hell.
No, I would
God.
have expected Home Alone 2 as well, to be fair.
Well, I think Home Alone 2 is like my second favourite film.
Yeah.
But just because it's got Donald Trump in it, it doesn't take
Yeah.
the top spot. Yeah.
It's I think Home Alone I mean, I love Christmas, and Home Alone is like about Christmas. And I just remember, I mean, every year my birthday's at the beginning of December, so every year on my birthday I watch Home Alone and put the Christmas decorations up, and I've done that for like forever. And it's like fairy tale. It just makes me think of like fairy tale Christmas, which nobody ever has a fairy tale Christmas, but it's like that's the ideal. And it just has so many amazing memories for me that I think it's always going to be my favourite film. And Home Alone 1 and 2 are the only Home Alone films there are, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
Awesome.
But I couldn't think of other films that to suggest. So I picked a couple of TV shows, and quite often with everything actually. Other than music, actually, audiobooks, movies, and TV, I often rewatch the same stuff over and over again. Audiobooks, I do that all the time. You know, some of the audiobooks I've listened to like 15 or 20 times. I think it's probably just to have something on that to occupy my mind, without having to listen to it too much. But the TV shows that I rewatch the most are obviously Alan Partridge. Because
Nice.
Oh, wow.
That wasn't intentional, but I'll take it. I mean, it's fucking brilliant. I mean, I'm a Steve Coogan fan, and Alan Partridge is just great. It's, I mean, I quote it every day, and I'm sure it's really irritating to people and maybe not funny, but I don't care, so it's fine.
It is funny, and it is funny to quote it at everyone all the time, and just even though you know that they know what the thing is you're quoting, you kind of
still have to do it.
Just do it, yeah. The whole scene, whatever it might be. What do you revisit the most? Like Iron Man and Partridge 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of the later stuff?
Yeah, I do like the other stuff. Like Mid Morning Matters was great. I thought that was good, and Scissor Dial was good. What was the other one? Places in My Life.
That was good. Yeah, that was really good. And there's another. What's the recent one? I really like it.
This Time.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I've rewatched it a couple of times, and it was great.
Yeah, they're filming a new series, I think now, or they've finished filming it. I'm not sure.
I didn't know that.
And Alpha Papa was great. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I watched that last weekend for about the millionth time. It's amazing. It's really cool.
I mean, that's one of the opening sequences of him singing Cuddly Toy in the car.
Yeah.
And that's about Broachford. That's a great song, man. I love that
really good song. And every time we watch the film, I say to my wife, do you know when he filmed this? He did it for real as Alan Partridge, and he just drove around filming himself. And every time she says, yeah, I know, because you tell me every time. It's great.
Vicky does that as well. Every fun fact I've definitely said 100 times already.
Yeah, it's a great fact, and it bears repeating. So
yeah, well, I'll be repeating that one from now on. Yeah, really good. Steve Coogan's autobiography is really good as well. I got the audiobook version of that, and obviously he talks about Partridge quite a lot, but that's interesting.
What's that called?
It's cool. I'll have a look.
Yeah. Because I've never really re-listened to an audiobook, and I've got so many, but it's that thing nowadays, like you don't tend to watch, there's so much new stuff, so you don't tend to re-watch programs, but when you do, it's like, it's amazing.
Yeah. It's called Easily Distracted. It's really good. Yeah, it seems to be a really honest account. I mean, I suppose you never really know, but yeah, I enjoyed that. That was good. And my final choice is The Thick of It, because it's fucking amazing.
I've not seen it.
Oh mate, it's co-written by Armando Iannucci, who's obviously involved with Partridge, but it's so good. The Thick of It. They did a couple of US. They did one US spin-off feature film called Spinners and Losers.
I haven't seen that.
No, I'm just googling it now.
I've seen In the Loop.
Sorry, no, In the Loop. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was another shorter feature that was called Spinners and Losers, I think.
Okay. My introduction to that was In the Loop. I'd never seen The Thick of It, and I bought In the Loop literally because the DVD had a good cover and was like, it looks quite good. And was like, this is really,
yeah,
it was quite hard to follow and really weird. But I think that's the point, isn't it? That it's quite hard to follow what's going on. But then watching In the Loop, you're like, oh, right, yeah, makes sense a bit more now. But yeah, that's an awesome program. And again, I don't think I've ever rewatched that since it was on. It's worth going back to. But scarily kind of prescient and all too believable. So maybe it's a bit of a. It's like what's that program you were saying about, Jamie, with the
Seaspiracy.
So that's
which is brand new to Netflix. It's just a documentary. It's a bit like David Attenborough-esque kind of style documentary, but yeah, very, very, very powerful.
Worrying. I can't watch it because I'm like, I don't want to turn it off now. I'm like, oh great, so another way that we're all going to die. But so yeah,
I might start watching that tonight though. The Thick of It. I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah, with watching The Thick of It, it's just the incompetence. It's too, especially with people like Matt Hancock and other people like that. You're just like, it's all too real.
And another great thing is the Facebook groups on Facebook for The Thick of It and Alan Partridge. There's about 4 or 5 that I follow that I'm in for both of them, and it's just fucking brilliant. It's so good. The funniest sort of, particularly in The Thick of It, when they post an actual thing that a politician did, and then a Thick of It line, and it's like, yeah, it's exactly the same thing, and it's like you literally made it up. It was
I think I'm in one of the Alan Partridge groups. I think I'm in Alan Partridge and The Office. I don't really go on Facebook too much, but every time I pop up, there's some kind of meme or whatever it is about it. Love it. But even you as well, Josh. Like, I'm sure we've had a said hello to each other in the pub a couple of times, but I'm sure if we bumped into each other now, we'd have a chat. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's a good bet. It's not just about having a physical photo. It's also what you get from that as well, which is nice.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because that's how you and I, Jamie, started. Like, obviously we worked together, but we started like.
I hated you when we worked together, but
yeah. Thanks. No, but we started speaking again after we didn't work together because we were both taking photos. So it's quite a nice thing.
I did want to say that I think that your thing is fucking great idea, your website, and I'll definitely be using it, because I would imagine it's a nice feeling that somebody wants to buy a photo that you took.
Wouldn't know, but
wouldn't know yet.
Well, yeah, we'll soon find out, won't we?
I'm going to stick some stuff on there. I don't expect anybody to buy it, but it's a nice. I wanted to sell some stuff, but I was a bit too I was feeling quite hesitant to do it, because I was like, it feels so egotistical to be like, hey, I took this photo, give me £50 because it's art, because it's got a border. But hopefully, thank you, and we've had some good feedback from people, and everybody really. Again, I keep saying this, no one would go, well, that's a shit idea, but everyone we've spoken to seems like, oh yeah, why doesn't something like that already exist? That's really weird.
I think from like the community side of it, a bit like you're doing with the Cult of NN and the NN Social, it helps bring people together in that kind of community where ours is based around photography. It's nice to just support other people. Do you know what I mean? So you have big artists, big bands, big musicians, big photographers that are always going to sell work. But our job isn't to sell the photos. Our job is to provide the platform where someone can buy it. So you might put out, here's my shop, and you'll be surprised,
Yeah, but you say that because we're also part of the plan is that we are going to promote the people that use it, and that's why one of the things is this podcast. But also after it launches, we're going to send out loads of stuff with like newsletters and stuff like that to people who buy anything off that to promote the other photographers that are using it, with the idea of just trying to put money into photographers' hands. Or I mean, anyone can use it, artists can use it, anyone who will sell prints of their work. But people who traditionally struggle to, make money can use it. I'm not saying they're going to be able to quit their job because they're selling photos on there, but they're going to make a bit of extra money. And especially at, the moment, that's quite a handy thing, I think, for people. Yeah, it's not what it's all about, like just making money, but well, I mean, it is selling your work, but like we're not just doing it to be like obsessed with making money, but people do struggle. So like you give them an extra outlet that doesn't already exist and stop them from undervaluing themselves.
It all came around because we were just sick of seeing like Instagram profiles with a message saying, DM me for prints. Do you know what I mean? What does that mean? Do you know what I mean? Which is good because you want to DM them and you want to get a print, but then there's no middleman between that, making it easy. Not in the UK anyway. Whatever it might be, is there a leaving statement that you want to say?
If you just want to end it like this,
you can just say "fuck off" if you
want. No, it's that's a fucking great question, isn't it?
It's a bit hard to put on the spot though with it. But
yeah, it is because you want to say something deep and meaningful.
Yeah, you have to say something very profound now.
I don't know. I just think I'm really glad I've found this interest or this fun thing to do in taking pictures, and it happens to be that some of them turn out quite nice, and it was just random chance. And I think like a lot of things I've done in my life, I've started them without enough knowledge, and sort of you pick it up along the way, and there's never a perfect time to do something, and you've never learned everything there is to know about it, and then you can start. It's like just fucking take a picture, and you can put a filter on it, or you can edit it in Lightroom, or you can do nothing to it, and you don't have to post it anywhere, or you can post it everywhere, and whatever you want to do is fine. And you're always going to worry about, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this for likes and stuff? It's like, just fucking do however you want to do it, and because you'll change your mind, whatever. I've posted stuff to try and get likes, but now I'm conscious of that. So you have to try that before you realise, you catch yourself, you're like, oh, I'm not doing this for pure reasons. But fuck it, what's a pure reason? Do what you want.
Pardon? Unless you don't want to listen to me. I really don't want to listen to you. You're so boring. You're boring. Fucking face full of cake.
Is that what it sounds like? She's brushing her teeth.
No, eating my dad's birthday cake.
Yeah, it's not like you're making that sound like you've not given it to your dad yet.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
You're not recording it, are you?
Yeah, I'm literally recording the thing now. Thurman Merman. Shoving chocolate cake in your face.
It's just really boring. I want to put the TV on. So.
Oh, it won't be long anyway.
There's the intro / outro.
I'll put that at the end.